In today's lesson, we're going to look at finding an exterior angle in a polygon. And so the first thing we need to know, most important part of this whole topic, is that the fact that exterior angles in pretty much any polygon that you're going to come across, exterior angles always add up to 360 degrees. Okay, absolutely key piece of information that you need to be familiar with. So let's have a look at why that's the case. So if we imagine ourselves walking around a polygon, so we'll start here, and then we'll walk this way to that point, and we'll walk this way to that point, and we'll walk this way to that point, down here, and then we'll end up where we started. Let's have a think about how we turn as we go along this path. So we go along here, and then at this point, we have to turn that far. And then we go along here, and at this point, we have to turn that far. And if we do the same, going around. And now when we get to our final place, we want to end so that we're pointing in the same direction as we started. So we'll do one final turn, and then let's have a look at what we've done. So we started pointing this way, we've gone around the path, and we've done one full revolution, and we've turned round 360 degrees. So that is why they need to add up to 360. Okay, one thing we need to be able to do is work out what the exterior angles, or a missing exterior angle, on a given polygon. So if we draw ourselves a pentagon, this is our first example. And if this is 70 degrees, this is 100 degrees, and this one is 60 degrees, and this one is 45 degrees, we might be asked to work out what that final one, x, is. So our general strategy is going to be to add up the angles that we know, and then subtract it from 360 degrees to work out what this final angle needs to be, for them all to make 360 degrees altogether. So the first thing we need to do is add them up. So 100, 70, 60, and 45. And we get 5, 10, 17, 275. And then we need to subtract that from 360 to work out what that final angle is. So borrow one from there, that gives me 5. Borrow one from there, that gives me 8. So our answer is x is equal to 85 degrees. Okay, so you'll see on the board we've got two examples now, and so this one is for you to have a go at, while I'm having a go at showing you how to do this one. Remember, our strategies for these are going to be very similar, so once I've completed a step of working over here, feel free to pause the video and you can have a go at this one over here. So remember, our first step was to add up the angles that we are given, so that we can work out what we need to add to take it up to 360. So let's add these three angles together. Remember, you've got 4 angles, you must remember to include that right angle there. So 120, 150, let's add those together. That gives me 270 degrees. Okay, and then we need to work out what x has to be to take 270 degrees up to 360. The simplest way to do that is to subtract. So do 360 minus 270. We'll borrow one from the 3 to make that 16. So that gives me 0, 9, 0. So then we get x is equal to 90 degrees. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to have a go at this one at home. So we'll just quickly work through the solution. So we add all our angles together. 45, 60, 85, 90. Okay, the 1, that gives me 28. So that's 280. And then we're going to do 280. We're going to take that away from 360. So we borrow one from there. 8, 80 degrees. So we get our final answer. X is equal to 80 degrees. Okay, so our last one in finding a missing exterior angle, example 3. Now this one, we're given 2 of the angles, but here 2 of the angles are unknown. So this doesn't change our general strategy too much. We still need to work out what the angles we've got add up to work out what the angles that are missing have to add up to, but then we need to do a little bit of algebra just to work out the value of x. So if we work out what 110 plus 100 is, that gives me 210. Okay, so then we need to work out what angle is missing to make 210 up to 360. So we subtract 210 from 360 and we get 150 degrees. Okay, now one last little trick, I'm sure if you're watching at home you might be able to spot this, is that x and 2x, when we add those together, they have to add up to 150 degrees to make all 4 of these angles add up to 360. And so let's just write that down. So we've got x plus 2x. When I add those 2 angles together, my answer has to be 150. Okay. Now we can simplify this down. X plus 2x gives me 3x equals 150. And now this is an equation that we should know how to solve. And we've got 3 times by x is 150. So if we want to get rid of that 3, we have to divide by 3 on both sides. Now getting rid of the 3 here just leaves me with the x, and then dividing the 150 by 3 gives me an answer of 50 degrees. So our answer is that x is equal to 50 degrees, which means that this angle is 50 and this angle is 100.